Welcome back to this training on using the UiPath Test Suite for software testing. In today's video, we will be focusing on the capabilities of the Test Manager. We will first see how test projects and requirements are created in the Test Manager, and how the integration with Jira simplifies this part of the process. Then we will create test cases and test sets, and we will get to see how the Test Manager can be used to manage the execution of manual tests. Let's get going. This is the UiPath Test Manager. Here, it all starts with the creation of a test project. So, let's do that by clicking this big plus. We'll give it a name and a prefix. The prefix is relatively important as it will be attached to all the objects created in the project. Now hit Create. To access a project, just use the administration menu here and select Projects. We can choose the number of items displayed on each page. Now let's scroll for our new project. And here it is. In the case we are demonstrating, we will be relying on the deep integration between our Test Manager and Jira to simplify the creation of test requirements. We'll simply click New Connection and select Jira. A note here. The Jira connector is just the first one available. Others will follow. Also, you are able to create your own connectors at any time. Back to our connection. We'll start by giving it a name, and then add the server URL. This one we can copy from Jira, like this. Then, of course, we'll input the credentials. Let's select bug as the defect type. The last step is to input the project key. Let's go to our project in Jira. And here's our key that we can copy and paste in the Test Manager. Then click Save. This is how our connection looks like with the editing options. All right, it's time to set the connection in Jira as well. In our project in Jira, let's navigate to the project settings and scroll down to UiPath Test Manager. Now, remember that the Jira connector is already installed in our case, so you will need to do it before replicating these steps in your own environment. All right, in this screen, we need to select the types of issues that we want to synchronize between Jira and UiPath Test Manager. Let's check Story, Bug, and Epic. Then let's copy the server URL of the Test Manager and input it here. As for the API key, it's this one here, generated earlier by the Test Manager. If we go back to the Test Manager and navigate to our project from the dashboard, we can see that currently there are no requirements. Now watch what happens if we create new items in Jira. With a simple refresh in Test Manager, we have them all here as well. Good. It's time to create some test cases now. We'll start from the Test Cases page of the Test Manager by clicking Create. Let's enter a name and a description and hit Create. If we open it, we can see that we have 3 tabs: Overview, Automation, and Manual Steps. Later on in this training, we'll get to the automation part, which is at the core of the testing automation capabilities that we have put in UiPath Test Suite. But now let's touch on the manual testing management capabilities. Since we strongly believe that exploratory manual testing can be very powerful, it's important to see that our Test Manager can be used for this and for manual testing in general. So, in the Manual Steps tab, we can start creating the steps that we want to test. Let's start with opening the UiBank web application. And we might as well add the URL here. Then we'll create a separate new step for each of these actions, going to the Loans page, inputting the email, the loan value, the age, the loan term, and the income. The final 2 steps will be clicking on Submit Application and checking the result of the loan application. You've probably guessed by the name of the test case that we are expecting the application to be rejected because of the requested loan amount, which is too high. All right, we now have a test case with the manual tests. Why don't we execute it? To do this, let's first create a test set. We'll give it a name and hit Create. Then let's access it and assign the test case that we have created earlier. You can then see it here in the Test Cases tab. For the rest of the video, consider that we have switched to a manual tester. Here we go. From the test set created earlier, we'll click Execute. First, let's make the right setup. We'll have the page with the steps on the left half of the screen, and we'll keep the tested page on the right. Now let's proceed. For each step, as you can see, we have the option to set it as passed or as failed. Our page opens, so we can set the first one to passed. Going to the Loans page, this is also passed. Apply for a loan, passed. Now let's input one by one the email, the loan value, the age, the loan term, and the income. It was successful for all of them. We are also able to submit the application. And, as you can see, the loan application is rejected. This is the expected behavior, so this is passed as well. Let's leave a comment. And click Done. If we go back to the Test Manager, we can see the latest result, passed. We can also see it under the test results, where we also have a more detailed view. This concludes our demo on using Test Manager to create test projects, pulling requirements from Jira, creating test cases, and executing manual tests. In the next videos, you will see how we can make the most out of the UiPath Test Suite features to automate some of these steps. Thank you for watching.